Hey friends, welcome back. It's Dr. Bosky, and today I thought I would take a look at something super cool. So we have a relatively new community member, Juvu, Juvbox, I think is their name here. So super cool. They just put up their very first Tect demo, so Tect demo, and they said, I made my game. It's a Tect demo on what I learned using the game engine. So by Tect, I assume you mean Tech, Tech, but this is good too. So, and awesome. Thank you so much for coming to the community, playing with the Shmup Creator tool set, and just seeing what you can do. They also say it's a short demo. I'll take the heat to be a better dev. So I thought, why not just give you a little bit of time and attention? And I thought we could just jump into it. So let's see here. I am not... Let me make sure this is on. Yeah, okay, good. I'm not the most awesome shmup player in the world. I enjoy horizontal shmups the most. So I'm coming at this completely blind, which is great. I'm playing with a PlayStation 5 controller, wired in this particular case. And yeah, so right off the rip, I can't read your font compared to the background. Like, this is very difficult to read. So it might be a style thing, but you know, so just food for thought. You want to make sure that when you want to have users interacting with settings, that they can actually go through and basically read the things you want to read, right? So, but that's all easy to customize in the engine. I thought you should just have that for feedback. So let's jump into it. All right. Sounds like a little Gradius music in the front end. Holy shit! What is this? Okay. All right. Okay. So, real quick. Oh, I should probably start my replay buffer as well. Let me take a look here. Start replay buffer. Okay. So it's a Tech demo. You basically open me right into a barrage of enemies that I can't do anything about. So I'm not sure what your objectives are. I'm going to die over here. Excuse me, 1 second. I'm not sure what your objectives are in terms of a Tech demo. I assume you want some gameplay feedback and kind of experience feedback. So I would say when you open a level, give players the opportunity to at least identify. It could be very quick, like 1-2 seconds, but at least give them the opportunity to actually dodge out of the way of stuff. So, all right, let's come back into this. All right. So checking all the buttons. Looks like I got one button here. Oh, I got 2 buttons. Oh, what is this? What is this? I'm not sure. So it looks like there's something. Okay, so they got the, oh, this is kind of cool. So they've got the X and the O button. The X and the O button being pressed at the same time give you, I guess, they give you a more powerful or variety of shots. X button doesn't do anything on its own. So there's something super confusing in what you're trying to achieve with both the buttons there. I'd also say your analog stick controls, no reason not to support analog stick controls. If you look at my my channel, there is a I can probably just give this to you here. Let me see here. Open Shmup Creator. I'm a big fan of playing shmups with analog stick. Games like Gunvein are huge. I use it as well in my games. As opposed to just using digital. So if you're not playing with a controller, some of your players will play with a controller. I'd recommend that you pick one of those up, and any standard Xbox or PlayStation controller will be fine. If you go into Shmup Creator, you go into Preferences, you can set your dead zone to 6 and your sensitivity to 0.4, and that will give you more silky smooth analog stick controls. All right, let's see. Got some power-ups. Okay, cool. Yes, super interesting. Like the Gradius laser you got going on here. Super cool. Okay, you got your bullets there. Let's take a look at your collision box. Okay, so the good news, I think it's just the cockpit, which is good for dodging. I took damage there. Just trying to make sure I can actually dodge through the... Uh-oh. So, interesting. What's really wrong with that? Also, if you're going to put out a tech demo or anything like that, I highly recommend just putting in either a bunch of lives, like put in, I don't know, 500 lives, or put in a bunch of continues, so then you can get a sense for how difficult some things are to the player. Like this kind of laser thing, this is cool. Got this laser, the spread shot. I really feel like you probably want to use the, this might be a thing, but I'd recommend... takes a long time to move in the game. Like this is an eternity to move around. What I would recommend is in the engine there is a thing called focus mode. So if you go to your player, so you have the focus mode button here, and what that allows you to do is map to a button. So then you could have a higher speed. But for instance, you could make your what you're doing now with both buttons being held at the same time, you could make that your focus, so that makes you slower. It's a bit more modern, I think, very much popularized in Danmaku style bullet hells. But you seem to like having a lot of bullets, so that's why I was kind of testing the ability to make burn. I don't understand. I don't quite understand the weapon system, but it's also might be helpful for you tech test wise as I get to the end to put in a little like infographic on the abilities. Oh no, here comes some more things. I like your spread art. Like you're definitely getting across the idea here of like we're in this like I don't know like a snowy mountain range of some sort or. Canyon? Not sure. Yeah, definitely super slow to move around. One other thing that might be useful for you as well, just right off the rip, is in your player control, your player character, you can do this thing where you go to collisions, and you can have two different collision. You can have multiple versions of collision, right? So one is you can have, if you take a look here, let me get out of my actual. Did I make any change? I probably did. Say that. Always a good idea whenever you're doing dev. Always have a test level if you're going to explore or show things. So one of the things you can do is take a look here. Let's see where these guys are. All right. All right, cool. Okie dokie. Okay, cool. So on your player, in collision, you have the ability to set more than one hitbox. You can set multiple hitboxes if you want. So what I'd recommend that you do is that you have a very small hitbox. So in this case, so the very, very small hitbox is just on our character is this one here. So you can see it. And what this hitbox does is this one is just for, hello, is it over here? Ah, okay. This one is used for the out of screen bounds limit, just in case you don't really need to for the other thing. This also is where we take damage, so collide with enemies, and this also collides with backgrounds. And then I have a second collision box, which is this one here. And the second collision box is bigger. So, and what is cool about this one, right? So if I just had the small collision box, I don't have the ability, maybe I can do this. So for instance, if I uncheck collide with, collide used for screen bounds limits. So if I go in and so here you can see like, oh, like my character is basically about half. He's half out of the screen because it's only his little vulnerability spot here that's being used. So what I do is I use the bigger collision volume. So you don't go as far off screen, which is nice, but more importantly, right, is that you can set your bigger volume here to also collide with items. So it makes it easier to grab items for the player, which I think is quite useful. Because what you don't want is you don't want your little cockpit collision being the thing that has to run into the power up. So it makes it a little easier to grab those. And look, at the end of the day, you don't want players trying to like be ultra precise to grab items. You want them to be able to, you know, for the most part, where the player sprite is where they think they should collide with the item, and so that will help you quite a bit. All right, let's go back to it. I was noticing that, right? So I'm like, oh look, trying to get these items, and I can only get them with the cockpit, right? So. Okay. Do something fun. Do something fun. What's going on, son? Are we done? We might be done. Oh, there we go. All right. It was a long time to have just items. It was fun to play with. You might want to play with your camera a little bit. Look at these guys. I like these guys. These are cool. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, again, I like that you're using both buttons in combination, pressing them together. But you definitely want to. Why would I not want to just hold both buttons together the whole time? I don't understand why right now. Maybe the answer is I got that cool primary laser, but then I have this giant chonky plasma laser here. So, are the bullets weaker? Not sure. So you have this modifier. I just want to know from a player experience, like, why would I never not want to hold both the A and B buttons down, or the X and O buttons in my case? Basically both shots. And pressing all the other buttons. Some other things, I know it's a tech test, what I'd recommend that you also do is, whoa, something's happening. You definitely will want to play with your hair. You want to come in and in your level settings, you want to play with your scrolling parallax. So bring those into different layers so you can work on your speeds, and then also just get comfortable with how the images come into the engine, where you want to tile those and what that looks like. So you know, it's quite useful. So all right, let's see, let's go back to it. All right. Oh, Boss Town City, look at him go. Whoa, dude. So your bullets are too fast compared to compared to your player speed in that case. I think they might be dodgeable, but only just barely. Oh, okay. All right, tech demo. Dude, first of all, welcome. Thank you for sharing. What I highly recommend is, oh, there's a tech demo. There's another level. All right. I don't understand. Okay. Oh, look, we've got more parallax. We got little cloud layers up here. Sweet. What am I doing right now? Am I just seeing the sights? Am I flying in the trees? Look at me, I'm bird dogging. So, again, tech demo for you. You always want to have something else happening, because right there, that was a very long time for me to just take in the sights. These, that look a little, so, you know, bring it, always keep the player engaged with something. Either it's enemies or something to grab. Oh, here they come again. Yeah! All right, power-ups, here we go. I don't know if it changed anything. Am I at I think I'm at the highest power-up level, maybe? Yeah, weird that the X button doesn't do anything on itself. Okay. Oh, there's the thing. Whoa! Look at that guy with his little snarky laser bits. Here come the Yumbos. One up. All right. You also, since you're working on your tech test, you might want to come in here and take a look at I think it's here. Is it here? Nope, it's here. Games and bars. So chain combo, gauge. What is this? Is it text? Score might be, so score is being shown there. Metals multiplier, bits there, in-game scores. Where'd this go? Ah, okay. So in-game scores, you might want to show your either item scores or show multipliers or enemy scores. So basically, this just it's very gratifying when you are killing enemies and then you see like the score coming off of them, right? So here's a good example of some of these guys. Even though it's just 5 there, but if you do use the multiplier system, that one's like 10 plus the multiplier of 2 for the chain combo gauge. Like, you know, these things stack up quite nicely, which is quite fun. So just, you know, food for thought. All right. Yeah, so I think I'd also recommend that when you do your next test, whoa, look at that. You definitely want to set the stage a little bit for what you're testing and what you want from players, right? Oh, he is using the focus mode button. Okay. That's what the X button does. Okay, okay. All right, I got it. Yeah, buddy. Let's see these guys. All right. Your lasers, they're dodgeable for the enemies, but those are, you know, like it's especially at the speeds, it's interesting because they're harder to dodge. Ooh, I got obliterated. It's because you're testing right now. I'm kind of bored waiting for the things to happen, and then when they happen, I'm not ready. And that's the thing with Shmup. It's like think about it as like a dance, right? It's like a fine dance between the player and you, the designer. And you never want to stop the dance. You always want the player doing something. So what I would do is I would definitely work on cranking up your enemy encounters and never leaving a lot of dead space. But again, I see that you're tech testing. Okay. Well, I think. Oh, what's this? Whoa, Dave! What was that? Aw, what happened? What happened? I killed the thing. It's probably just some fun stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get this video up for you. Again, great job. Like very first start. You know, a lot of times what I do when people play my game, and I would definitely be humbled and appreciate it if you want to put some time into my game. When people record their gameplay for you, especially their first time experiences, I like to go through them through the videos, and then I create a little task list, and then I check off the task list. So, you know, it's just a hopeful kind of process to get you into your dev mindset. It's one of the most precious things anyone can ever give you is their time and attention to especially play with things that are in a work in progress or a work in development. So make sure to collect your own tasks, do an iteration, and then you know, also give to other people. You know, what you put out there is easier to get to come back to you. Always give more than you take, as I like to say. All right, I will get this video up for you. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.